So this is the first
Hi.
episode of our podcast, and we are here. I have someone from our LinkedIn network itself, and I was trying to make this conversation, and was curious to learn about this design field, and I was always really want to know about design, and was curiosity drives me here to know more about the what are the ins and outs of the design field, how a product is being designed, what does the product designers do? And here we have, and over to you, Oreya.
All right. Thank you. Thank you, Bharat, for having me.
Yeah.
I'm Evergreen Ode. I've been a product designer for over 4 years.
Okay.
And initially, I started with UI UX. Then I moved on into product strategy.
Hmm.
And now I'm trying my hands out with AI. Yeah, a whole lot.
Yeah, and AI is really booming right now, and it's we have to fast forward into that, and that's something I should also learn to do things like that.
Yeah. So right now it's like there's this. I tend to imagine it as a sort of wave, like AI is just like waving in, and if you're not like on it, you might get left behind or something.
Okay.
But yeah, but it can be overwhelming a little because even though it seems like just yesterday that AI came, it's like there's so much progress, like a lot of progress has been made, so many new discoveries, advancements,
Uh-huh.
and it can be hard for a product designer who is just starting out. So
Okay.
if you're just starting out in product design, what I would advise is probably just get some UI UX course, something that compresses lots of knowledge into
Oh.
like a few
Uh-huh.
hours. Yeah, get a course like that, and also get a course that has an industry standard tool, maybe Figma, a course on Figma, a short course on
Okay.
Figma, and you take that 3 hours one day, depending on how fast you learn, and
Hmm.
move on to something else. Move on
Okay.
to focus on the user experience part, focus
Hmm.
on product strategy, focus on building your business knowledge, yeah,
Yeah. Huh.
and also focus on on how to build products for AI and
Oh.
how to use AI tools. So
Oh.
these things would help you as a designer now, so
Hmm.
you won't feel left behind. I wouldn't
Okay.
advise anyone to go the typical route of boot camp, right? So instead of a boot camp, just take these courses and focus on what would be a differentiator for you, yeah, in the
Oh.
markets right now.
Yeah, like many of the like we have to learn lots of courses behind to do something in the design, but just take the UX and UI design courses and then do the focus on developing a business knowledge. So that's what one has to develop, right? What motivated you to into this field, like this design field? Like I was always kind of curious one. I always like to dribbles, just scribble things and draw things. But I was never that much an artist and that much like an designer kind of thing. But
Yeah.
I always had this curiosity in my head, and always I have that. But what about you?
So I think I have a similar story. So I also loved art. Yeah, I was
Hmm.
good at drawing, anything that had to do with not just visual arts, creative art. Yeah,
Oh,
sculpting. Yeah, I was good at those. But so when I was, when I was in secondary school, which
hmm.
is high school, looking for what to major in, like planning my future with my parents, they decided I would go the science route. So I
Oh,
wasn't going to, pick any art related courses. I wasn't going to pick anything, creative art. And then the only thing art to me then was technical drawing. Yeah, but
oh,
that was more towards engineering, right?
yeah.
But in the end, I didn't go that route. Yes, I got a science degree,
Oh, oh,
but I started learning graphic design.
oh,
And while I was a student, I did graphics for events, for people, for university communities. I
mm-hmm.
did those.
Oh,
And
oh,
one day, yeah, and one day I started taking these front end courses, right?
oh, oh,
Just I was just curious, really. I was just
oh,
curious. So I
yeah.
was taking these front end courses, and someone was like, one day, someone was like, ah, why don't you go into UI UX design?
Mm-hmm.
Right? Your
Okay,
graphics are so good. You have a nice visual eye. So if you went into UI UX, it would be nice. And I thought UI UX. I was
oh,
actually liking coding at that time. Yeah, it seemed
oh,
interesting to me. Yeah, but
okay. Oh,
I
wow.
thought,
That's nice. So
yeah, I
that's a
thought,
like,
okay, let me try it out.
yeah,
Hmm?
like curiosity is the one that thing that lets everyone to discover new things. So that's kind of like
Yeah.
it's relatable, right? The next thing I want to ask is that if what's the difference between a designer and a founder's mindset? So how do you correlate this two? Like I have seen in your LinkedIn profile, you have clearly mentioned about you have to develop or you have to give the mentorship in such a way that this has to be balanced like business
Hmm.
founders mindset and
Yeah.
designers. So what's the thing behind this?
Okay, I would say the difference between a designer's mindset and a founder's mindset is ownership. Yeah,
Oh,
ownership.
ownership.
So when I say designers having a founder's mindset, I mean
Mm-hmm.
designers taking ownership of the product, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you're not just designing for a client,
Mm-hmm.
you're designing a product that you feel a sense of ownership for. So that
Oh,
means that beyond just the design, yeah, beyond the design, like from strategy, so you be this is where you'd want to know and
oh,
make sure you actually really do know,
oh,
what your clients want on the
yeah.
business side, what do they want to achieve, also what the business hopes to achieve, and what success is like for the business. Yeah,
Okay.
so you have let's say the goals for certain businesses, okay, they want to get so number of users in so number of months,
Mm-hmm.
right? So that is a goal. And you as a designer, your job is, to think, not just to design, to think of ways to meet that goal and also to
Mm-hmm.
design, ways that the business can meet that goal. And
Okay.
at the same time, yeah, considering the user, right?
Okay.
Because your superpower as a designer is to think like the user and design for the user such that people use your product and that helps the business. Yeah.
Okay, so like we say that or we always say we give the preference to the customer or the someone who is going to use the product, and so for a
Hmm.
designer to be think like in the founder's mind that has to take ownership and also and think in
Yeah.
terms of the customer's point of view or the user's point of view
Yes.
and design in such a way.
Yes.
So that's how it's being done. And so then what does this full stack product design mean? So what's that like what does that look like in practice? So what's that?
Okay. So I think you've heard of a design unicorn.
Yeah. Huh.
Yeah. So, at the start of my career, one of my goals was to be a full stack product designer. So,
Oh,
meaning the kind of product designer that can take a product from end to end.
oh, oh,
So from strategy to build, yeah, to ship. Yeah, that kind of product
oh,
design.
oh. In your life like that you would thought that the designs are just great and you want to know more about this and you want to pursue this thing and do more on this like any life-changing moment or the moment that you feel that I have to do something I have to do something like I seen in your profile and seen in your about section that you like to give mentorship you do the the careers you give advice to the careers. So what made you think to do that like things like that?
Okay, so I'd say I've always loved to teach, like a lot. I did this in school. I taught in school, both even after school, I taught.
Oh,
And I saw that, yeah, I saw that I had, some sort of joy when I could, pass some sort of knowledge to someone and it made their lives better. Like they understood and yeah, that joy.
oh,
So my own career, I would say it's been somewhat smooth, right?
oh,
So because of my background in teaching, yeah, teaching both formally and informally, I
okay.
knew that the first thing I needed to do was to create a sort of plan for myself, a sort of career plan for myself.
Oh,
So I created a career plan, created a learning plan for myself also, which
oh,
I followed. So I did a lot of research. I, checked out, different boot camps, like good boot camps, good design
oh,
boot camps. I checked out their curriculum. Okay, these are what things I need to know,
oh,
and this is how I'm supposed to get to where I want to be in 1 year, in 2 years. So
okay.
I thought it was easy, but one day I realized that it wasn't that easy for everyone else, especially someone starting out. They feel overwhelmed, right? You don't know where to start from. You don't have a plan. Okay, you want to learn something, and I've seen it like a lot. Most of the ladies I mentor, they're starting out in their careers, or even though
Yes.
they've been in design for like some time, they
Okay.
do not have a structured plan. It's like they're like it's like their career is well, I say it's like at a pause. Yeah, but like they've been
Oh,
at one spot for like some time and they don't know how to get out from there.
oh,
Yeah. So and yeah, so what I do is, I help them to create a sort of plan and we,
oh,
get to understand themselves, how they learn, what they want for themselves and how to
okay.
get there. Yeah.
So what we do is that we have to have a like in our case we plan a lot of things but we never actually do things like that. But in order to we do something we must have a 5 year plan, or if you have a career you must have a career plan. So in our case it's all just unsorted. We doesn't plan in like this way. We just do like our parents might be saying one thing, you
Yeah.
must take one, you must take that, but we doesn't look towards us. We doesn't look like what does we want, what does our careers want. So this is how so this is something like that's related to me. Like everyone just does things in a such a way that they doesn't plan anything. Next thing I want to ask is that so if you are just mentoring or just giving this coaching to the people, so the things. So what are the signs that a designer is is really much ready to do a take decisions about the product?
Okay, so I'd say there's no being ready. You can never be ready. You just have to
Okay.
start either way. Yeah, you just have to start. Because the
Uh,
best way to get good at design is by doing. Like not just creating projects, having pet projects and personal projects, but like working on real life stuff. That's the best way to get good in design. Yeah.
Okay. Oh, yeah. And like what skills like should the designers what are the skills that the designers should learn to earn some seat like seat in the strategy table? Like you might have a really of experience in this product designing field. So what do you think that the skills that these designers need in such a way that they should get to be in the strategy table, take decisions and things like that? Like everyone has this skills about this UX UI, they learn these skills. Apart from that, they need some soft skills, maybe something like that. So what would that skills be?
All right. So remember I spoke about ownership, right?
Yeah,
And so that's one of them.
one thing. Yeah.
So, you imagine you have a client, or imagine you are a client. One thing you want to be sure about is you want to have confidence in the designer, or imagine
Hmm.
you're an employer and you want to have confidence in your designer that, okay, they know what we want and they're able to help us deliver it like in the best way. So if you want to get a seat at the decision table, then there needs to be some sort of trust between, you know, the stakeholders. Not
Okay.
just yeah, not just the your employer, but I'm talking about your developers having some trust in you, your product manager having trust in you, like your
Mm-hmm.
clients having trust in you. So there needs to be that trust. And you can get that trust by
Mm-hmm.
showing them, okay, you have, good critical thinking skills, by showing them you're a problem solver, right?
Okay.
So yeah, so when we have meetings, right?
Mm-hmm.
We have meetings, to discuss the products or the next direction or something. If you're
Mm-hmm.
not, bringing some sort of value,
Mm-hmm.
right, the other stakeholders might not really see the importance of your presence.
Oh,
Yeah. So aside from just bringing the design skill, right, the design point of view into meetings, you have
okay.
to be recognized as a problem solver, and there
Uh-huh.
has to be a form of trust, right, between you and the other stakeholders.
Okay.
Yeah.
So ownership and critical skills that we have, and this kind of skills are that one a designer must have. So if the designers who want to pitch their bold ideas, they must also have to, but doesn't feel blocked. So they should have necessary skills like what have been done. So these are the things how these are done. So I just want to know about we are building a product uh, about the physical product or the soft products like the AI tools or the product designs in this web tools and things like that. So, what are the roadmaps, or how is a product being developed in that space, like web apps or the apps being developed? I'm from an engineering background point of view, so I my major stream was engineering. So, from our point of view, a product is something that's physical. Like we design a pen, we design a pen holders, or we design the uh, full aerodynamics aspect of that or the main components of that. And I also seen that this product development is another way is about this what do we say is the software development things or specific products that are being developed. So what's the difference between these two? Like,
I'd say there is no difference aside
uh-huh.
from the tools. Yeah, there is no difference.
Oh,
So in both cases, I'm sure you know of the design thinking framework.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, it's a problem solving framework. So you can
Mm-hmm.
apply both in both cases. So the
Mm-hmm.
same steps you take to designing in industrial product design are the same
Mm-hmm.
steps you take in digital product design, right?
Mm-hmm.
The same skills required, the same thing. I feel like the only difference is the tool. Yeah, so you're going
Mm-hmm.
to use different tools. And but nowadays, I think some product designers, industrial product designers, use Figma.
Oh,
Yeah, but I'm not sure.
oh. Okay, so these are the times when AIs are booming. So I must be sure that you might be doing things most of the in AI tools. So what are some of
Yeah.
the AI tools that you basically doing daily? Like I use ChatGPTs, I use this brainstorm, so publicities. These are the things that I use. So what's the thing from a product designer point of view? What are the specific tools that you use to make your daily activities easier to manage the task?
Okay, so ChatGPT is like the first. I
Yeah,
use it
that's
for a
that
lot of
that's the
things. I
one
use it
thing that everyone
for
use.
I use it for generating copy,
Mm-hmm.
and so and I also use it for like the technical stuff. Yeah, I know
Mm-hmm.
other people use Claude, but I prefer ChatGPT because I've gotten so familiar with it.
Oh,
So let's say I were trying to build an app or a website using Figma Make or any other tool.
oh, oh.
So, or trying to automate something. Yeah. So,
Mm-hmm.
ChatGPT is where I go to for like all the technical questions. Okay, what do I do with this API tags? What
Okay.
like trying to even if I want to understand their documentation, that's where I go. Also, so I use Recraft AI
Oh,
to vectorize to vectorize images. So there are certain designs where I need vector images or I want to turn images into vectors. so that it has this paint like feel. Yeah.
Okay. So
Then
what's that? That's
for
called
generating
Recraft AI.
images, yeah, we craft AI.
Craft AI.
Yeah, you
Okay.
can use it to edit images. Yeah, just play around with images.
Oh,
Yeah, I
oh.
also use Google Image FX.
Hmm.
I prefer it to any other image generation models. Yeah,
Okay. Yeah.
Google Image FX, like it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like
it's really good.
yeah, like I use mainly use Google Gemini, Gemini for recently because they launched the
Uh,
Nano Banana model. So if I just want to design a posters and something like that, and I want to design something, I just give the prompt and I just get the thing what I want. But doesn't it won't be just that much nice as what how a designer does that. But if you want in just if you want something like you need a poster for tomorrow, so or just say you need a poster right now, so then that time these things these AI tools are really help. It really help in everything.
yeah, they are a lot, a whole lot. Yeah. So aside from trying to remember, because recently I've basically been exploring AI tools. So
Oh,
I'm trying to remember what other things I use. And what I've been using now is mainly ChatGPT and the AI tool. So I've used Lovable, I've used
oh,
Replit,
oh.
and I'm currently trying out Figma Make. Yeah, I'm really
Okay.
liking it. Yeah, I'm liking Figma.
This like Figma and all that was kind of like that's new to me. Like I really need know this, but the AI features that they have been introducing, so that was something that some of the AI tools I could learn from this one from you. I think we are coming to an end. Like, what I just want to ask is that what's one underrated trait that you see in a designer? One trait.
I would say I'll say being a problem solver, yeah, being able to think critically. So like that's one powerful trait for me. So you know, the hardest part of product design is the ideation part, the beginning, the thinking, like the understanding part, those beginning stages of product design. So when you
Okay,
bring a problem here to a designer, I value or really, really love designers who are able to like think fast, who are able to look at ideas and come up with solutions to them. Like yeah,
okay.
or look at ideas and break them down. Yeah, I really, really value designers like that.
Okay, so that was nice, and it's really coming to an end. In the future, if we could also, if possible, we could do the part two. If you are able to learn something, and if I'm also able to learn something, and if we could share something, and so that's how it's been planned. So
All right.
this is the place where I'm trying to do. So this is what we have been planned. Like one could showcase what they have been doing, so what's their expertise is, in such a way that it would also be a new knowledge to someone who wants to get into this, or they are curious about that. So these advices on these insights that you have shared was really helpful, and it was really good to me. Like I was curious to know these things, and that was really good to me. And let's hope and let's think maybe in the future where we could also do some maybe a conversation like this in the future. And hopefully that's it.
Yeah,
Thank you, Rhea.
definitely. I would love something like this. This was nice.